Screaming Demons RC, SDRC, back in the shop tonight. Today I had a bash session with a couple of the crew members out here at the compound, and I was running the ARRMA Kraton here. I had these kind of race truggy wheels on, and they were okay on my track, not bad. The foams are pretty stiff for how I run my suspension usually as a basher. So I hadn't adjusted my suspension, so the truck was running a bit stiff out there. I wasn't airing it out too big because it was, like I said, pretty stiff. I didn't want to break anything, not having that extra cushion from the big tires I usually use, which I usually run the backflips, the ARRMA backflips here. I usually run these or my Proline Badlands, and they're MX38s, I believe, or something. MX38s, I believe. They're big, and they got lots of cushion on them right when you land. So, whereas you can see these, there's not much give to them. So, anyway, I have the truck in here tonight, and I'm going to do some maintenance on it. I'm also going to put some new parts on. I've recently got an order from Vitavon in. I got some aluminum hubs for this truck here, and the front, and these are the fronts here, and the rears were the ones I showed here. And I'll get them out of the package and show you exactly what they look like. They're really nice units. I'm going to be upgrading my truck. Not a lot more parts because I've done a lot to this truck. These are some of the last parts in this box that will be going into this truck for upgrades. And then I'm going to be going with 6S power, most likely, most of the time, because it's getting to be a heavy truck. And I really noticed with 4S, it just doesn't have the power that I want anymore with the weight I've added to it. So I think I'll be, like I say, with this box of parts and upgrades, it's going to add a bit of weight. So I'm going to definitely have to step up to a single 6S LiPo pack for this truck. And then I should have the power and all the power I'm requesting and wanting out of it. I don't think I want to go 8S with this truck ever. Myself, I know a lot of people have done it. I just think it's a bit too much power for this scale, for my own preference anyway, for what I do around here. Anyway, I'm going to get on with this. I'm going to open these packages and show you what they look like. Alright, if you're curious at all to what wheels and tires I was running here on this Kraton, they're AKA wheels with AKA tires, and the tires are, let's see what they're, I-beam. They were a nice tread pattern. Like I said, they worked well on my track. My track's a bit rough right now, so they were okay. Like I said, I am quite used to running more aggressive tires, but I'm going to be running once in a while over at the Funk Factory, and Michael Funk's track is pretty groomed, so I'll be running truggy race tires over there. And these are the most aggressive race tires I have in stock, and I have a few other good sets that I was lucky enough to get. A local guy, an ex-racer, donated a couple of boxes to the SDRC crew. I went and picked them up one day locally and gave them out to all the crew. Everybody got at least 3 sets of tires, buggies and truggies, so everyone was stoked. And this is one of the sets I got. So anyway, I want to get on with this video. Alright, check these out. These are beautiful pieces here. These are the Vitavon long stub long stub shaft front knuckles. That's what the description is here. Right there, that's what the description is on the package. I don't know if my camera's picking that up properly, but anyway, these are beautiful pieces, and they come ready to go. All you got to do is add your steering knuckle, this little aluminum mount here. Sorry if it's a little too close. This little aluminum mount here, little red one here, the stock piece. You just got to take that off and mount it right here. Vitavon even includes the screws that mount it. Make sure you Loctite that on there with blue Loctite. It's beautiful. Comes with nice bearings. I'll be taking the seals, pop the seals out, add SDRC easy bearing lube to those, and spin them a few times, pop seals back in, and those will be good to go for probably a couple months. Easy. And yeah, very, very happy with the quality and the workmanship of these. Just amazing, the machining quality. Quite happy. You can see the Vitavon name printed in there. For some reason, my camera does not like to pick up things close up. There we go. That's better. The Vitavon name there, and that's there's an L printed in there. Or machined, sorry, not printed, machined in there, and that means obviously left-hand side. And the same with the right side here. It's the same way with an R. And beautiful work. I'm just blown away by how nice these are. I can't wait to get them on the truck. Before I do actually install them, like most of my reviews when I'm adding aluminum components to my truck, I will take off the stock piece, and with all the parts that are on this, the same exact, all the parts that are on this, I will weigh them and give you a difference in the weight so you know what you'll be adding to your truck per set. I'll give you each side, but I'll make sure you know what it is per set anyway. Just because it's nice information to know how much weight you're gonna add, especially with these RCs. They get pretty heavy. Like I said, I'm gonna have to run mine on 6S soon because she's getting to be a bit of a tank. I mean, it's a beautiful tank. I love my tank, but she's getting to be a tank. So she's gonna bump up to 6S if it likes it or not, I think, because I think it just needs it. It's getting heavy. I've tried to keep it on a diet, but there's only so much you can do when you want to bash them hard, right? I love these knuckles. I'm going to open the other package and check out the rears, so just 1 second. All right, here we go. Here's the long stub shaft rear hubs from Vitavon. Beautiful. Just like a piece of jewelry. Look at that shine, eh? Just gorgeous. So same thing. Vitavon is written right in there. You can see it. And that's like, that ain't coming off. That is right down into the aluminum, machined in there. Beautiful work with the R for the right hand side. And again, comes with all the bearings needed. Yeah, beautiful machine work. I always love looking at cut aluminum. Machined like this, well machined. It's just a thing of art, thing of beauty. Like I say, it's like a piece of fine jewelry to me. I mean, obviously made out of aluminum, but if this was made out of gold or silver, that would be amazing. All right, I wish I'd win a lottery. I'd get a silver gold RC. I probably wouldn't bash it at the compound like I do, but maybe a street drifter or something. Yeah, put her into the ditch. You'd bend up the chassis for sure, being gold. Anyway, enough blabbing on. These are beautiful. I can't wait to get them on my truck. Same thing as the fronts. I will weigh up the rears and see what they weigh for the stock rears with bearings and let you know what the difference in weight is. And yeah, I'll get on with this video and get these installed. All right, I've got one of the rear stock hubs off the Kraton. This is off the left-hand side. And I was looking at it compared to the new Vitavons. And there is a difference. A nice difference. A difference that I don't mind at all. The difference is the bearings on the Vitavon are way bigger and sturdier. I'll just have to source, obviously, the size they are. I'll write them down, what the seal numbers are, and I'll get a good source on those, maybe even from Jim's Bearings, one of the dealers I deal with for my bearings, Jim's Bearings. That's who I usually get my stuff from these days. So, all right, I've got the front hubs installed here, the Vitavon hubs. They look freaking great, man. I'm amazed at how good they've made my truck look awesome on the front end. And in the back here, got the back hubs installed, and it's so cool that they include those big oversized bearings, and the rear bearings and the front hub bearings are all the same bearings. The front side and the front side on the back are the same, and the rear side and the rear side on the front are the same type. So there's two different types of bearings you have to get, but that's okay because they're big and burly and beefy, and we like that in our scene because it makes you don't have to do maintenance as long, or sorry, as frequently. You don't have to do the maintenance. Also, they just take more of a beating. Those thicker walled bearings, the ball bearings are bigger, they take more abuse, so we love that. So I got some numbers here for you for guys who are interested in that. If you can see this on my I know I could have written it down on the screen, like, new age guys, right? I know I'm just old school. Anyway, I'll tell you what it is. So the Vitavon front hubs, each front hub weighed 56.3 grams. For a total of both sides would be 112.6 grams for both front hubs. Okay. The stock ARRMA ones are 33.1 grams each for a total of 66.2 grams for both. That's the stock ARRMA ones. And the difference is, I didn't do the math yet, so I'll give you that in the next scene. I'll give you that. We'll go on to the next, the rears. So for the rears, the Vitavons weigh 40.1 gram per each unit, and for a total of 80.2 grams for both of the hubs, the rear aluminums. And for the stock ARRMAs, they weigh 21.5 grams each side, for a total of 43 grams for both of the stock plastic ARRMA ones. So the difference there is, in my opinion, they are definitely worth the extra weight. For the well, you got to think a lot of the weight also is those bearings, oversized bearings. Those are steel. Steel weighs more than aluminum anyway. So I actually was quite impressed by when you pick up the package with both of them in the package. You're like, oh, that's some weight. But then you feel each one. You're like, okay, yeah, all right, that's a big chunk of aluminum, and it doesn't weigh that much. So they've taken a lot of material out of that. That is well machined down to just what you need. Beautiful work. I'm loving the Vitavon parts. I'll definitely be picking up some for my X-Max when I can afford to. They're not cheap parts. They're not the most expensive parts I don't think on the market, but they're definitely up there in price, and that is because they're high quality. So you get what you pay for with Vitavon, definitely, and they give you nice stuff too, right? Other companies don't give you bearings and screws and extra stuff like that. So that's nice to see. Those little extras, right, goes a long way for us guys that appreciate that stuff. Anyway, this video is going on. I'm going to actually pause it and show you what each side looks, the metal or the aluminum versus the plastic. So there you go. You can see the difference between the plastic on the this side of the screen, the plastic ARRMA hubs, versus the Vitavon on this side. There's the Vitavon. Great looking pieces, great looking pieces. Add a lot of style and class to my truck over just the stock plastic, which are nice. They're decent weight. They haven't broken or cracked, so it was obviously a good design, nice plastic. But I just wanted to up the strength and durability even more on my truck and add some actual bling factor too. I'm getting to the point now where I do not want to add really anything else aluminum into my truck. It's already getting heavy. So, and like I said, I'll be running on 6S because of that. I'll show you what the back looks like here. So here we go. There's that rear Vitavon hub. Beautiful machine work. I mean, my camera's good and I'm trying to give you a good shot of it and good angles, but I guarantee they look better in person. If you're thinking of getting them, you won't be disappointed. We'll go over to the other side, across my truck, old beast. And here's what obviously the stock ones, I get a bit more light on here. Here's what the stock ones look like. They're no big deal. Like I said, they're good, they work. They haven't broken yet. I haven't even broken a hub on this truck, so that was good. But I figured I would upgrade anyway and just see how these Vitavon ones work and look. And the machining quality, like I said, is right up to top notch, so that makes me happy. I'm going to show you the front side, just one sec. So here we go. Here's the front side of that Vitavon hub. Like I said, my camera, it doesn't like to focus for some reason on things up close when there's stuff in the background. I'm not sure what setting I need to change on that, but I'm going to figure that out one day. But anyway, you can see these are beautiful, beautiful pieces. Great addition to any RC, the Vitavon line of parts. So if you're looking at new parts for any of your really common RCs and you're watching this video, check into Vitavon. You can't go wrong. Okay, I'm going to show you the reason why I always pull out the seals on bearings that have, rubber seals. If they're able to come out, I take them out with a razor knife. Try not to use one that's like exactly brand new because it will end up slicing your seal up. Use an older one that's the tip is a bit dull, but still, has a good sharp tip on it. See, I use this style one right here. And then just get it in there and pop your just get it in there and pop the seals out. Here's the seal here. I already popped it out. And so why I do install the SDRC lube, easy lube, bearing lube, is because this is how, and these are good bearings. These are nice bearings. These are quality bearings. But sometimes they either miss adding the lube or they just don't add very much. So the grease, right? So what we do, well, what I do, most good mechanics, when you get a brand new bearing, is you pop out the seals and you fill them full of grease. And as you can see there, this one, my camera, I tell you, it pisses me off because I needed to focus on small stuff like this and it's not making me happy. But anyway, you need a lot of grease in there, so I pack the shit out of them. And here, I'll show you how I do it really quickly. Take the tube, insert it into the groove, push the plunger, go all the way around. Hopefully I'm getting this. I'm trying to look at what I'm doing and camera work at the same time. Go all the way around. And this one was pretty low. Some people say, you don't need that much. I'll be like, yeah, well, guess what? I use that much. And pops. Or I usually give it a twist. Put your finger in there, twist the bearing a couple times just to move that lube around onto the bearings before you put the seal on, or you will push it, a lot of it out, and it won't go in there. So rotate it a few times, whatever. Then take your seal, probably way too close up on this, and pop her back in. And so I don't get a lot of excess lube that pops out from the seal behind the seal, I always take a rag, put it over top, just push the seal down in with the rag like that, give it a bit of a wipe. Good to go. She's all back in, ready to go. Now I do the other side. I do every bearing like that. Makes them last a lot longer and they're a lot smoother. They give you a bit, probably more rolling resistance, off the first maybe battery pack or two, but after that you would not notice it. It's going to whip all that stuff either out of there or into the bearings and just turn it into nice smooth butter, and you'll be flying. All right, I've got the Kraton all back together. Vitavon hubs in the rear, looking awesome, top quality, and the Vitavon knuckles in the front. Looking awesome. Looking great. Like I said earlier in this video, I'm going to look into this camera because I'm definitely not happy with how it focuses. And you guys can probably see that on that everything I zoom in on is kind of fuzzy, and I don't exactly know why. I'm going to look into why this does not focus properly. But that's for another video. We'll figure that out sometime when I got some better time. Anyway, she's all back together. I'm going to get the crew out here in the next few days. Hopefully it's Saturday today. Maybe today get a couple of guys out. Maybe even tomorrow. Haven't made a solid plan yet, but I'm going to be testing these out. And I'll let you guys know on the video that comes out. We'll do a quick running video on this. And I'll add that. Probably not to this video, but I'll do a whole separate video on how these are working out in the at the compound. After a good bash session, I'm sure I'll have no problems and it's going to operate real smooth. Looking forward to that. So we're going to cut this video short. Screaming Demons RC, SDRC, we're out.